There is a certain kind of strength that doesn't make noise, a kind of discipline that doesn't announce itself, a kind of growth that doesn't ask for applause. And for a long time you may have believed that respect was something people gave you when they finally understood your worth. But life teaches you slowly, and often painfully, that respect is not given to those who demand it, or to those who chase it, or to those who break themselves trying to earn it. Respect gravitates toward the ones who are consistent enough to outlast doubt. And consistency is strange because it rarely feels powerful when you're doing it. It feels ordinary, almost invisible. Like showing up one more time when no one notices, like keeping a promise to yourself even when the world is quiet, like choosing your growth over your excuses with a gentleness that looks like nothing from the outside. And yet these small choices begin to shape your character in ways that no single moment of motivation ever could. Because consistency is not about intensity, it is about integrity. And maybe you've spent a long time waiting for people to recognize your effort, waiting for someone to validate your potential, waiting for the world to finally see how hard you've been trying. But the truth soft but sharp is that you don't earn respect by wanting it. You earn it by becoming someone who doesn't depend on it. Someone who wakes up each day and chooses the path that is aligned, even when it is lonely, even when it is slow, even when the results feel like distant shadows instead of present rewards. Because the world respects what it cannot ignore, and the one thing it cannot ignore is a person who keeps showing up. Consistency is quiet endurance, the willingness to repeat small truths until they become who you are, and it hurts sometimes. Because growth removes you from the comfort of the familiar, and discipline breaks the illusion that you can become someone new without leaving behind the habits of who you were. And for a while, you might feel invisible, like all your effort is disappearing into the air, like nothing is changing fast enough, like you're pouring your energy into a future that refuses to reveal itself. But this is the part the Stoics understood deeply. Progress is rarely visible in the moment, but always undeniable in hindsight. And the people who doubted you, ignored your effort, or took your silence for weakness, will eventually see what you built. Not because you proved them wrong, but because you proved yourself right. And that quiet, confident kind that grows from consistency rather than applause is what makes you unshakable. Because you are no longer dependent on the world's timing or approval. You are anchored in your own commitment, and commitment creates a foundation that cannot be faked. But consistency is not about perfection. It's about returning to your purpose after distraction, returning to your discipline after discouragement, returning to your path after self-doubt whispers all the ways you could fail. And each time you return, you reclaim a piece of yourself you once abandoned, and this, more than any praise, is what reshapes your identity. Because the person who returns is not the same as the person who left. They are quieter, wiser, stronger, softened by effort but sharpened by intention. There will be days you don't feel like showing up, days when nothing inside you feels powerful or disciplined or capable, days when life feels too heavy and your habits feel too small to matter. And on those days, consistency becomes something deeper than discipline. It becomes a form of self-respect, a way of telling yourself, I am worth the effort, even when I don't feel like it. And this kind of self-loyalty is what separates those who dream from those who transform. And eventually, without noticing exactly when it happened, you become someone people look at differently, because consistency creates a quiet gravity, a presence that says, I don't need to be loud to be real. And people respect that, not because you forced them to, but because you became undeniable. And the world always bows not to noise but to truth. The Stoics often wrote that character is fate, and consistency is how character is carved. Slowly, day by day, decision by decision, moment by moment, in the privacy of mornings where no one is watching, in the evenings when fatigue tries to seduce you into comfort, in the lonely hours when discipline feels like a burden rather than a gift. And yet these are the moments that these are the moments that raise your standards. These are the moments that shape a future that will eventually look like strength. And that is why respect finds you, not because you chased it, not because you demanded it, but because you built yourself into someone who lives with intention, someone who honors their own commitments, someone whose actions align with their values, even when there is no immediate reward. And people recognize that, even if they don't say it out loud. Because the world has always admired those who walk in consistency more than those who perform in bursts. So be so consistent they have no choice but to respect you. Not because respect is the goal, but because consistency is the path that makes you whole, and the person you become quietly, steadily, relentlessly is the kind of person whose presence speaks louder than any explanation, whose actions echo longer than any promise, and whose life stands as proof that greatness does not always rule. Sometimes it simply returns, again and again, until the world finally understands that you were building something real the entire time.